traders, how's it going? It's Scott Schneider with a shadow short over in the live trading suite at the futures room. We're looking at the NQ. NQ hit the all-time highs on the 9th of July. I'm using Window Trader. We're looking at the profile. If you're unfamiliar with the profile, this is the dailies. So each one of these profiles represents a daily session. So this is Friday, July 11th. This is Thursday the 10th. And this is the all-time high on the 9th. Previous all-time high on the 3rd. So if we were, same way it looks on a candlestick chart, dailies. Now the profile just gives you a little more granular information and gives you a little more of what's happening, not just with price, but also with time and with volume. So over the past 3 sessions, the range has really gotten pretty compressed. So Friday session only saw a range in the NQ of 158 points. It's not a lot for the Qs. And the day before that was 188.75. And the all-time high was 192. So the ranges are getting a little tighter. And, we look at the market as a continuous two-way auction. Shout out to Dalton. And at some point, auctions on the shortest term, since it's a continuous two-way auction, it's going from buying auctions to selling auctions within a very short period of time. And throughout the day, it's constantly changing. But it is continuous, and that's just my way of viewing the market, and I got it from, Dalton and Peter. One of the things I'm noticing is that on the 10th, we could not get back to the all-time highs. So we make a lower high on the daily. On Friday, we couldn't get above Thursday's high, so we make a lower high again on the daily. So we started the process of potentially one time framing lower on the daily chart. And so as long as that continues, meaning Monday when we get the profile, if it does not get above 23,021.5, pretty much the high of Friday, then that pattern will stay intact. And that kind of gives you a little bit of insight into which way the continuous two-way auction is going in that time. And then you just look for change. You look for that to switch. Another key level I'm going to be looking at is the June high, 22,935. And I think that if we start to find acceptance below the June high, that will give further confirmation that potentially we're going to repair some of the structure below us. We still have distributions from July 2nd. And a couple virgin points of control below us, more distributions. So pretty much since about June 24th, we've really just been kind of grinding higher, and it was very explosive and multiple, making all-time highs on the 3rd, and then again on the 9th. So potentially the auction will be moving a little lower. And while it's moving lower, just know it's looking for buyers. So I'm not calling for a full-on collapse. It's just going to be looking for participants who may want to get in at better location and, are just waiting for that opportunity. And we take it moment by moment, tick by tick. So again, on Monday, if we notice NQ can't get above Friday's high and we close below it, then one time framing on the daily will be continuing from the all-time high. And if we're below 22,935, then we're back in the range from June. Now, one last thing we could look at. So each one of these is a day. So this is Friday's session, like I mentioned. We can also, with Window Trader, we can merge these together. It's pretty cool using just the regular trading hour sessions. And you can see what the month of July as one big profile would look like. So this is what I'm going to leave us with on this weekend. All right, and then just to remove some of the noise, I'm going to take off all of my references that I collect all day, every day. And what we can see is that the value area, 70% of the activity for the month of July, is here. We have good excess at the highs. And what I think is interesting and what I think is noteworthy, look at where the halfback and the developing TPO point of control is. So the most amount of time for the month of July, even though we've hit all-time highs, is actually below the high of June. So it's at 22,930.75. So that's where the most amount of time has been spent. So again, 22,935, key level going into next week. Now the halfback of the month of July is around the 22,847.50 area. So if we lose 22,847.50 and we, advertise a little lower than that, we'll also be moving below the developing. And I say developing because we still have a whole lot of months left in July. So, that's just something to think about. It's a little more, for people that might be familiar with profile. And I also just want to highlight, relatively, just to keep it like I'm not overly bearish. It's also noteworthy to see that a lot of this value is above value from the month of June. So just like if we were looking at a day's value and we'd want to see if it's developing higher or lower than the previous day, I mean, the value for the month of July is still higher than the month of June. So both things are going on. The market is potentially going to continue to make all-time highs and just crush it forever. Or we get a little bit of a correction. Maybe we come back, we come back into the range of June, repair this gap. So I'm excited to see what happens, and I hope you guys are too. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and more importantly, I hope to see you in the room. Peace. Hey, this is Scott Schneider from the Futures Room over at ShadowTrader's Live Trading Suite. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you'd like to trade live with me in real time, please click the link in the description below. Have a great day and happy trading.